Hi guys, I am going to go over like a new client intro to the reformer, how you can do it quick and efficiently, especially if you're teaching like 10 to 15 people and you only have like 30 seconds. So when a new client comes into the studio, everything is going to be so overstimulating. So if you talk about every single piece of the reformer up and down, inside out, they're not going to remember any of it, okay? Because remember the first time you went to some place, like you didn't notice half of what was going on because it's just so overstimulating. You're trying to like take in all this information. So I keep it down to like 3 things, okay? So I set their foot bar, tell them the springs, and show them the straps, and that's it. Everything else we're gonna learn as we go, because that's all the time that I have, and that's probably the amount of capacity that they have to take in all this information. It was already so much to like sign up and get into the studio. So keep it so simple. Now for the foot bar, for these Allegro 1 foot bars, we can pull it all the way in. You just pull these little knobbies out and pull it in toward you. Now this is for the shorter clients. If somebody is like 5'2" and shorter, pull it all the way in, okay? Now if somebody's like 5'3" to like 5'5", I would push them to only see 1 dot available. Now, if they want more range of motion and a deeper squat, they're welcome to pull it in more. And then vice versa, like if their knees don't bend so good, I would push it out a little bit further. So to see 2 dots on this side, usually that's where I put it. I'm about 5'8". Now, I would say 2 dots on the side, like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8"-ish. Again, some people have longer torsos, some people have longer femurs. What you're gonna hear in the Pilates studio is that you wanna have a 90-degree bend from knee to hip. Now this is a good like general guideline, but also there's so much benefit to getting deeper into the squat. I'll go through that in a second. Now, if you have clients that are 5'9" and taller, I would push the foot bar all the way out so that they can see 3 dots on the side, okay? Now and we have the stretch reformers for clients that are like 6 foot and taller, but say we have a tall client that's working on this machine, I would just simply bring the foot bar down a little bit further. That would give them more space for their squat and everything. So that's just another way to accommodate for a taller client on this machine. Now, I'm 5'8", and if I pull the foot bar in so that you just see 1 dot showing, this isn't wrong for me to work out with more range. That's gonna put me into a deeper squat position. My knees are in a little bit more. I can still keep a neutral pelvis here as I push out and in. Actually, that feels kind of good. A deeper squat, it's gonna increase the spring tension. It's gonna make it harder. So it's not wrong to pull the foot bar in. I would just tell the clients like, this is your preference. And usually with new clients specifically, I would err on the side of caution. If they're too crammed in, a lot of pressure is going to be on those shoulder blocks. So I would just be a little more conservative, especially for the new clients, okay? And then on the flip side, some of my older clients, their knees don't bend as well. And so they might be 5'7", 5'8", but they prefer the foot bar all the way out. Because that's gonna reduce the range of motion, it's also gonna reduce the spring tension because you're not gonna stretch the spring as far. So when I lay down and do footwork here, it just gives me a little bit more space, okay? You're gonna come in not as deep into a squat, but you're still gonna get the movement for that leg press, for that footwork. Okay, now talk about the foot bar. Let them know, like, hey, how tall are you? I'm gonna put your foot bar here. You wanna see 2 dots on the side, and tell them, every time you come in, make sure you see 2 dots for your height. That way they know. Super simple. And they can look at the other foot bars in the studio to kind of gauge what those are looking like. Now for the springs, if it's their first time, I almost always just take off the yellow by default because like I said, they're gonna feel the shoulder blocks a lot. Now, 3 reds and a blue is gonna be a good medium setting. If it's too heavy, just tell them to take off that blue as well. 3 red springs. We can continue to reduce spring tension, especially if they aren't able to straighten their legs all the way, okay? So set the foot bar, set those springs, show them where the straps are. Be like, your straps live here on the pegs right by your head. Say big ones are for feet, little ones are usually for hands, and then that's it. That whole spiel, you want to reduce it, right? Foot bar for the height, spring tension, straps, that's it. You should be good to go for the next person that you need to help set up. If there are multiple newbies in the studio, do them both at the same time so you're not repeating yourself over and over, because you still want to go around and talk to the other people in the room. Now today I had a new client that came into the studio. I sat her down next to Jill and I introduced them. I was like, oh, this is Jill. Feel free to look at her if you need any visuals. And then they started chatting and I sort of broke the ice for that new person and Jill, an existing client, got them to start conversating. I heard them talking after, like, oh my God, that was so fun, all of that. So break the ice, introduce them to somebody, because then that'll build community. They'll start to see that familiar face next time that they're in the studio. Also with new people, you want to walk around and give them at least like 2 corrections, okay? So go up to them, don't be afraid to correct them, because that'll show that you care, that they're in the studio, that they're getting benefit and value of coming in person, okay? And then check in with them after. Use their name. Say, how was that? How are you feeling? Just do a quick little check-in after. I know having 10 to 15 people in a class is like, it's a lot, it's overwhelming. The turnaround happens super fast, but just those little moments of connection are huge. And make eye contact. I had some new people in today's classes and they kept looking up and looking at me, and I would make eye contact, and I'm going to continue to cue, but I just give them a little nod. And that's just a little acknowledgement, like, yes, you're doing it right, keep going. And it's just that little nod, that little moment that tells them that they're doing okay, I see you, you're doing just fine. So keep the intros brief, okay? I would then, if and when the box comes into play for that new person, I would just like hover around them when we go to set the box on so that I can teach them in the moment how to put the box on. Because if you're teaching them about the box and the headrest and everything else, you know, it's just too much. They're not going to remember half of it anyway. So teach them as you go, use them as a demonstration. You could be like, here, we're gonna put the box on this way, and help them put the box on. That's just a little extra something to show that you care and that you're here to help and support them. So I think that's everything that I've got for a new client intro. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Again, a lot of it's preference. So if someone wants more intensity, a deeper squat, pull it in. If someone needs less range, pull it out. Adjust the foot bar. Clients aren't married to the settings, you know, so make those little adjustments and they'll really appreciate it.